What's good? It's your boy Fanon. Okay, I'm going to talk about something that is I've been led to think about Anthony Joshua and this whole heavyweight thing because I've been getting more and more comments on my page because since Anthony Joshua came over to the United States trying to save his reputation, which is in utter complete trash right now and ain't getting any better. But for some reason, people keep trying to dig this dude's name out of the mud in the U.S., and I thought that it would be necessary for me to go ahead and put it right back in there where it belongs. Because in my opinion, Anthony Joshua is the most manufactured, phony, fake heavyweight champion that I can think of in all of the years in boxing. I'm hard-pressed to see in the heavyweight division a bigger media creation than Anthony Joshua. And Anthony Joshua just proves to me how gullible people can be and how managers, promoters, and phony YouTube promoter posters who probably work for the promoter just to go to channels and throw crap in the comment section, how really absolutely ridiculously stupid they think people are. Anthony Joshua is a fraud, man. He might be a fraud that can fight, but he's an absolute and complete fraud. And for anybody to think otherwise just tells me that, again, you either work for Matchroom, you are Anthony Joshua's cousin, or at this point, somebody, maybe a YouTube page that Eddie Hearn will allow to, get access to some events. I don't know. It's hard for me to fathom who exactly it is that can in any way, shape, or form defend this guy. He has lost so much ground in the last year because of the way that he's behaved and the way that Eddie Hearn has behaved. This prima donna attitude, and absolutely fake attempt to unify the belts with Deontay Wilder. If Deontay Wilder was somebody who really couldn't fight and wasn't dangerous at all, they would have made that fight. They would have gave him 60-40 they would have gave him 60-40, walked off with that belt and called it a day so that they can continue to push this farce that they pushed off on UK fans, and I have to suspect wanted to push eventually on US fans, but it wouldn't work. Because despite what they thought about Deontay Wilder has a fan base in the United States. And when you constantly trash a guy who's doing his absolute best and exceeding expectations, when you try to trash on him and make up crap like Al Heyman can't come up with $50 million. Deontay Wilder's nobody knows Deontay Wilder, as if that makes any difference whatsoever about what's going to happen in the fight. People reject it. And there's no greater proof that Anthony Joshua, the great phony, has been rejected is his two interviews on ESPN with Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith, and the one with Jalen Rose. And I'm sitting there listening to these guys do this interview. It's clear to me that nobody on those panels believed Anthony Joshua. None of them. And they were all like, all right, look, I gotta interview you because, the higher up said you're on the schedule. Now, look, why is everybody saying you're running from Deontay Wilder? That's basically what Derrick Rose, that's basically what Jalen Rose said to him. I'm not talking about in this conversation what Anthony Joshua said, because I don't care what Anthony Joshua said. I've done other videos on Anthony Joshua, what Anthony Joshua said. But this one, I'm going to look at what the commentators said. All of the commentators asked him the question, why is it that everybody thinks that you're ducking Deontay Wilder? Why is it that everybody thinks that you don't want that fight? Max Kellerman said, look, yeah, okay, let me get your argument out of the way ahead of time. Yes, you do, blah, blah, blah. But right now, the playing field's been leveled. You used to be the champion. Now, you're looked at as just a title holder. Like, people can think Max Kellerman was soft on him or Jalen was soft on him. If you focusing on what was coming out of the mouths of Anthony Joshua, I can see why you'd say that, but I'm not listening to what he has to say. I know what he's going to say. He's going to say whatever it is that the man who got his hand firmly stashed up his backside tells him to say. And that is Eddie Hearn and Barry Hearn, the puppet masters that are trying to make this dude the international superstar. I wonder how much money they have invested in this dude to try to sell that. All to have it fall flat on his face because there was one fight that they had to make that they refused to make. Ridiculous. Anthony Joshua, again, this is a op-ed. Anthony Joshua is the biggest phony in the history of heavyweight championship. I don't know of anybody else that has made that many excuses for not trying to make a fight against another champion. Even the proposition that he's putting out now, is fake. Yeah, we have this date, April 13th. If he wants to fight me on this date that's there, then yeah, we can fight on this date that's there for the money that I told him I'd fight him for. But hold on, Anthony. What if he can't? What if he's not available that date? What if he said, let's just think about this for a second. What if he says, you know what? I've just fought in December. I can't fight again until September. How about we do it in September? How about we do it in May? Oh, we can't do that because Wembley Stadium won't allow me to do it. Well, what if we don't have it in Wembley? Oh, it has to be in Wembley. I'm contractually obligated to Wembley. I can't fight anywhere other than Wembley. Okay, well, no, thank you. He's ducked me. He ducked me. All this crap is just out there so they can save face. So that they can say Anthony Joshua wanted to fight Deontay Wilder, but Deontay Wilder wouldn't fight him. So never mind all of the people that have been paying attention to this and doing videos about it and releasing Twitter posts about what was going on. The 17, 18, 19, 20, 30 YouTube channels that all have 15, 20 different videos documenting everything that's going on. Just believe the last thing that you hear out of the mouth of Anthony Joshua. And the only reason it was Anthony Joshua out there saying it is because ESPN wouldn't let Eddie Hearn on. Anthony Joshua is the biggest phony all the way from, and even the way he got his belts, even the way that he got his belts. And once again, I'm not saying that the guy is not a decent fighter, that the guy can't fight. Okay? Obviously the guy can box. But Charles Martin to win his belt, a vacant belt against a guy who was coming off of a loss and hadn't fought in 2 years. A unification bout against Joseph Parker. A Joseph Parker who then wound up losing. Did he lose back-to-back? And he had lost against Hughie Fury, who didn't even look that good to begin with. He won the belt against a 41-year-old cat in his 69th fight. A C-plus fighter in Charles Martin and a B-minus fighter in Joseph Parker. But because he's got big chest muscles, because he's got big pecs, and Eddie Hearn is willing to spend a ton of money on promoting him, and Sky Sports is willing to spend a bunch of money to promote him, I'm supposed to believe that he's this great champion? The top 4 heavyweights in the world are in no particular order. And I'm going to say it again, in no particular order, are Luis Ortiz, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, and Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is the only guy that has not fought any of those people. Again, and don't give me this, oh, Dillian White is the top 4. Get the hell out of here. Dillian White is not a top 4 heavyweight. Dillian White wouldn't make it out of 7 rounds versus Luis Ortiz. The top heavyweights in the world, the 4 top heavyweights in the world are Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and Luis Ortiz. Let's see who's fought other people in that list. Anthony Joshua, let me go, Deontay Wilder. Yes, he fought Luis Ortiz. He fought Tyson Fury. Okay, Tyson Fury, who did he fight? He fought Deontay Wilder. Luis Ortiz, who did he fight? He fought Deontay Wilder. Anthony Joshua, who has he fought? None of them. None of them. The best fighter that Anthony Joshua has beaten is Dillian White. Dillian White. Dillian White, or Vladimir Klitschko. Okay, I dare you, double dare you, say Vladimir Klitschko. A guy a 41-year-old man in his 69th fight who hadn't fought in 2 years and it was coming off of a loss. But the guy that beat him all of a sudden isn't worth Anthony Joshua fighting, right? Anthony Joshua's not interested in fighting Luis Ortiz. He's not interested in fighting Tyson Fury. Okay, you can't get that fight on April 13th against Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's ducking you. Why don't you try to fight Luis Ortiz? Ask Luis Ortiz if he's available for April 13th in Wembley. Okay? How about this? Ask Tyson Fury if Tyson Fury is available on April 13th in Wembley and offer them enough money where they will not turn you down. No, he's offering Deontay Wilder, he's making an offer to Deontay Wilder that Deontay Wilder has already told him he does not want. What is the reason for him even talking about Deontay Wilder? Deontay Wilder said, I want a rematch with Tyson Fury. I think I should have won that fight, and I didn't do as well as I should have. Tyson Fury deserves a rematch right away. Just like he said about Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz deserved the fight. And Deontay Wilder's fighting people that he doesn't have to fight, giving Tyson Fury a percentage cut of a pay-per-view that he didn't have to give in a fight that he didn't have to take to try to prove that he's the best heavyweight. And you got prima donna, phony Anthony Joshua sitting over there plotting crap and getting on top of and trying to make excuses for himself on ESPN. Once again, man, Anthony Joshua is the biggest phony in the history of the heavyweight division. Since people want to use these this is a mild exaggeration. Primo Carnera might be phonier than him. But let's go through the heavyweight champs so we know them and see who exactly. Maybe Ruslan Shagayev. But definitely not George Foreman. Definitely not Holyfield, Tyson, Bo, Lennox Lewis, Vladimir Klitschko, Vitaly Klitschko. Deontay Wilder's been trying to get the dude in the ring. Anyway, man, I can go on and on and on. None of these dudes are as phony as Anthony Joshua. And I'm very, very happy to see that Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn have to be in damage control for the terrible reputation that Anthony Joshua has in the United States. And the reason why he has this terrible reputation in the United States is because he's acting like a prima donna, and people can see through bullshit. Okay? People can see through that nonsense. Unless, again, you are just Anthony Joshua's cousin or somebody that's got a vested interest in believing him. But anyway, it is what it is. And with that, I'm out. Peace.